how I made millions of dollars in my first 3 years of wholesaling real estate. Guys, my name is Rick Ginn, and I've been a wholesaler for 22 years. In today's video, I'm going to show you 3 things that made me multiple millions in my first 3 years. I'm going to show you the marketing that I focused on that I still use today. I'm going to show you how I switched over and did inbound and outbound marketing to really scale my business. And most importantly, I'm going to teach you the most valuable lessons I learned in those 3 years to become successful in wholesaling real estate. But before I get into it, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so other people can find the truth out about wholesaling. So as I said before, my main focus when I started in wholesaling, and as any new wholesaler should be, is on marketing. And honestly, this is the hardest skill set you have to learn in wholesaling. And if you skip this part and you think you're just going to outsource it, have everybody else do it for you, you're probably not going to last very long. You see, I learned quickly in wholesaling, if you rely on one lead source, you are one step away from being out of business. So to combat that, number one, you have to learn how to master marketing and wholesaling. This is the rule, not the exception. In fact, if you don't believe me, go find the best people in the real estate biz, and you'll find most of them have an exceptional background in marketing through learning wholesaling real estate. Why? Because it's not the easiest skill set, and once you master it, it is a tool that very few people possess, and he or she that possesses wholesaling, like mastery of marketing, they can do anything they got. You can talk to anyone if you want to pay a service to derive your leads because you know exactly what you're looking for. You know the markets, you know the key words, you know everything you're looking for. And if not, you're just gonna have to trust other people and pay them. And honestly, that's how you get taken advantage of in today's market. So bottom line, I dug in on marketing and I spent almost all my effort on marketing. In fact, I was pretty bad at writing contracts. I had no idea how to negotiate them, which I'll show you how to protect yourself on that. And honestly, I didn't even do dispo because I was all in, because I was told marketing was the most important skill set you can learn as a wholesaler. And here I am 22 years later telling you, you have to master this. So get into the marketing. In the beginning, most of you do not have a lot of capital and they don't have a lot of money, but you do have time. You are going to have to create a ton of opportunities. You're going to have to pull lists. You're going to get government lists, and you're going to do what we call outbound marketing, which basically you're going to go out and chase people down. There's no other way around it. Even if you have money, you're still going to have to do this. You're going to do driving for dollars, reverse driving for dollars. You're going to pull government lists. You're going to network with everybody you humanly possibly can. And my 2 main government list, and by the way, I share all my lists at freewholesaling.com. Code violations, hands down, made me millions just by itself, and then pre-foreclosures. And here's simply how I attacked those lists, especially in my first year, because honestly, I didn't know what I was doing and there was very little information about wholesaling. I just went and door knocked them. Why? Because I didn't know how to do it. I just got a list and I knocked on the door. I wasn't good at it, but I was consistent and I was fearless. And if you can do that and take that mentality with marketing and wholesaling, you'll do well. If you decide, I don't want to do the marketing phase, I just want to be a master negotiator and master at dispo, I promise you, you're not going to last in this business, because that's what the realtors do. And that's what like all the other JV people do. I love doing JV deals. In fact, my first 3 years, I spent a lot of time doing JV deals. Why? Because I didn't know how to do dispo, but I mastered marketing, and I put more effort in the marketing than most wholesalers did. And after about 2.5 years, I could easily do the negotiations and the dispo. So please, if you have not heard my message, you have to derive your own leads, specifically in the beginning, doing what we call outbound marketing. And you go out and chase. And I promise you, whatever you think that list is, 10x it. Why? You don't have the experience, you don't have the knowledge, and most importantly, you have 0 leads. So if you think you need 200 leads, multiply it by 10, you need 2,000. The more people you talk to, the more reps you're going to get in, the more you're going to learn how to talk to people and negotiate, and you'll figure out exactly what you're looking for. Now, when it comes to marketing, I'm telling you right now, I'm laser focused on what I need to find. This message I got very, very clear when I learned wholesaling. In today's wholesaling market, this message has never been more diluted than I've ever seen it. What type of seller are you looking for? Okay, motivated seller. The problem, that is somewhat of a generic term. We have to find people that need to sell their property and try to avoid the people that just want to sell their property. Because the people that want to sell their property, there's no point in talking to them until they get on this side where they need to sell. Who needs to sell? Someone's property that's probate, someone that's in pre-foreclosure, someone that has a problematic tenant, somebody that has a vacant property. Most of these people need to sell. The ones that want to sell usually go to realtors, and I avoid them like the plague because they will waste your time and you'll feel like you're getting somewhere, but you'll never get anywhere. Focus on people who need to sell their house. Number 2, deal directly to the seller. Do not talk to real estate agents because you're not going to get the story behind the property. You might if you have a relationship with the real estate agent, but the reality is direct to the seller is the best way to do this. Why? Because I'm teaching you how to connect with people and how to create rapport with them. If I can't talk to the seller directly, I can't connect with them. I can't get any type of emotional triggers. I can't get the story behind the story of the property. And I got to take it third hand, usually from a realtor or some other representative, maybe a lawyer. And those deals usually fail in wholesaling. The last piece I can't stress enough to you is I'm looking for off-market properties. So should you. Why? Less competition. You don't have to deal with the realtor issue. Number 3, let's face it. If a property goes on market, meaning it's publicly is listed, especially on MLS, those are typically people who want to sell that you are not going to be able to deal with the seller direct on hand. So I use the acronym ODM, off market direct to seller that needs to sell. Why? Because if you focus on trying to find that type of seller, and by the way, not everyone's going to fit that perfectly, but if you target and look and point your wholesale compass there, you'll come across the right wholesale deals. Now you're thinking like, Rick, what's the time frame? Honestly, there is no time frame because everybody learns differently. Everybody's in a different market. Everyone has different skill sets and everybody has different work ethics. So you can only compare yourself to what you did the day before. So just get 1% better and push yourself. At the end of the day, it's just you. And I'm going to teach you to get to 5 contracts, get at least 5 properties under contract. You should have 2 or 3 closed and usually a couple pending. Once you get there, guess what? You have proved you can survive wholesaling. In fact, most people get in wholesaling, they don't survive because their expectation is it's going to be super easy and make a ton of money. You will make a ton of money, but the problem is it's not going to be super easy. You're going to have to do what most people are not willing to do. And most people say they'll do it, but when it comes down to it, who's actually going to go through the fight? I know I have. I know Zach's gone through it. I know a lot of you watching this video are just getting started in the fight. I'm just telling you, I'm going to teach you how to do relationship wholesaling. And that's how you find properties off market direct to seller that need to sell. I develop rapport with them. I develop trust and I solve their problem. And for the most part, they like to go with people like me. Now I get rejected more than accepted, the full disclosure, but the reality is I make enough money on those deals. It's well worth my time. In fact, I already tell the seller, I am not going to be your highest offer. A highest offer is going to be what we call a transactional wholesaler. And these are people that just throw around prices. I can give you this. I can give you this. It's just a number. And at the end of the day, if it's all about the numbers, wholesalers never win, period. If it's about the relationship, wholesalers do very well. We solve big problems. We get paid big money. But if I'm just going to make offers on property, I'm nothing more than a traditional cash buyer, a fix and flip. And honestly, those people do not get great deals. In fact, they get marginal deals. So wholesalers get great deals. Regular cash buyers just get okay deals. They fix and flip it and they keep it. You have to get incredible discounts as a wholesaler. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. You can't get a 5% discount and sell it to someone else. You need 20 and 30% discounts to make stuff work. You have to go where the biggest problems are. People that need to sell their house, direct to seller, off market. So now you know the types of lists I got started. The type of marketing that was outbound marketing. And I fought like hell over 6 months to get 5 contracts. Was it easy? No, it was terrible. That's embarrassing. If I could record some of the stuff I did, you guys would be laughing at me right now. But we all have to get it through one way or another. So you're just like, Rick, what'd you do after 6 months? Because 5 deals is not a ton. Don't get me wrong. It was not. Some of those deals were like $1,200, especially my first one. I'll never forget that. And so what I did is I found a way, how can I scale knowing I'm a one-man or one-woman army, one man on this side. And because I just don't have money for a staff. I don't want to deal with that. So what I did is I got some simple softwares, which were wildly expensive back then, 2003. I hired a VA on, I think, my 7th deal to help me pull list, specifically government list, and gather stuff. And then somebody introduced to me a thing called direct mail. I go, why would I do that? That sounds old school and expensive. That's what I said back in 2003. And he said, I'm going to show you how you can scale your wholesale business. But here's the key, Rick. Keep doing what you're doing, Because if you stop, that progress is going to cease to exist. So what do I have to do? We're going to do a thing called inbound marketing through direct mail. We're going to harvest your list. We're going to make them bigger. We're going to pull a high equity list, which basically find people that have room to negotiate and own the property a long time. And we're going to send them out a postcard. How do I do that? So I went through the whole thing. I did that. And honestly, it was a godsend and saved a lot of my business. I slowly backed off some of the outbound marketing. I focused on the list that made me the most money. And then I scaled up. How many deals I do direct mail? It took me about 2 to 3 months to get going, but I averaged 3 to 5 deals a month alone on direct mail. I had no idea how to do it. I was horrified. I was scared, but I got through it and I scaled it. And I'm here to tell you the good news is I averaged 5 to 8 deals a month doing simple outbound marketing on my favorite government lists. This is before probates, by the way. And then I added direct mail. Now, before you knock direct mail, I want you to understand direct mail is 100% legal. And you're in an environment in 2025, a lot of things are being outlawed. The fundamentals of wholesaling are come back. I can expose myself to an incredible amount of people through direct mail. And remember, I just need a small percentage of them to take action. And number 3, I'm ultimately in control of the message I send in direct mail, the type of people I send it to. Yes, I have to pay a postage stamp, but it's a small price to play. My average return on direct mail is, when I started out, the goal was to get 2 times return. I eventually got the 5 times return, and eventually you'll get to 8 to 10 times return with your experience and your practicality of operating in direct mail. The only people that tell you direct mail don't work are people that don't stick it out. In fact, if you survey the country of the best wholesalers across the United States, 75% of them will tell you a majority of their business comes from direct mail. Why screw with what you already know works? Don't reinvent the wheel. The key is to not stop your outbound marketing while you do this inbound marketing. So at this point, when I added the direct mail, I got deals going. The only thing I've added is some sort of software service. Back then, I don't even want to talk about it because it was terrible. We did mostly paper notes. I added one VA to help me with my marketing. And I simply went out and got high equity lists so I can mail to them. If you want to learn more about mailing, go to mailingmastery.com. I teach it in depth, 100% for free to you. And guys, keep in mind, back then, I didn't do any virtual wholesaling because I didn't know how to do it. It wasn't even a thing back then. This was all in my local South Florida market, which was very competitive at the time. The key is I didn't quit. And most importantly, at the end of this video, I want to share the lessons I've learned from you, that if I could go back in time and grab anybody who started out wholesaling, I cannot stress this enough to you. Number 1, marketing is the key to wholesaling. If you're going to skip this section, my advice to you is probably not to do wholesaling because you're going to get disappointed and frustrated in the end. If you are not in control of how you derive your leads or understand where they come from, how can you figure out what to pay for them? And so you have to control some of that information. Number 2, commit to being uncomfortable. This entire process, my first 2 to 3 years, was wildly uncomfortable, to the point scary. I didn't get a lot of support. I got a lot of hate. And I got a lot of family and friends that questioned what I was doing. I understand now the only reason they were doing that is because I was doing complete opposite of what most people are doing, and they were scared. And basically, they were reflecting their own insecurities onto me. Once I know what my values are, I know what my beliefs are, and I solidify them with my conviction, go to freewholesaling.com. I teach you on how to do this. I just had to trust the process and go through it. The third one is I understand I got to fight like hell to prove myself to get the 5 deals. Why? How long can I be on the JV team? If you want to go from junior varsity to varsity, you got to do 5 deals. That's it. People go, hey, Rick, how do I know I want to work with you? I go, get the 5 deals. Why? Because if you can do 5 and you can figure out some way to muster it on your own through government lists and everything else, and I know it's not easy, but the reason me and Zach teach you to fight, most of you guys don't have money. Most of you guys don't have the skill sets. So by going through government lists, teach you how to derive your own marketing lists, leads, lists, everything, you can truly understand how marketing works. And you become truly wealthy in wholesaling when you're in the absolute highest learning process, which is usually in the beginning, which leads me to number 4 is just lose your ego when you do this process. Be a master student and stop trying to think you're the expert. The people that tell you they're the experts or like they know everything or I'm the best, it's what we call peacocking and ego. You're not going to get anywhere. I've been in this business 22 years. I learn something new every day. And if you're not learning, you're dying. And I'd rather you be learning than dying. The next one is direct mail is not scary. You get a great return on your investment and it's completely scalable for a one wholesaler army, man or woman. And that's why I love it. Now, I did everything on my own for 7 years. I'm not overly proud of it, but I look back at it now is I sat 7 years in the trenches. I met with so many sellers physically and virtually. That's why I'm able to talk to you with complete confidence and tell you what to expect on wholesaling. And I still do it to this day. I deal mostly with the problematic and the bigger deals, but I love it. I love the challenge of real estate. I'm a full ADHD person. And once I can get a deal under contract, I need other people to help me move it along because I get addicted to the rush of wholesaling, and I'm hoping you get it too. The last one is I had no idea how to negotiate. Now, I come from a sales background, but I'm here to tell you a sales background is not the key indicator if you're going to be successful in wholesaling. In fact, I'm going to tell you the opposite. The less experience you have in sales, usually the better off you're going to do wholesaling. Well, why is that? Because wholesaling is not selling. We are spending all our energy marketing, finding motivated sellers, and then we listen to them. We hone in our skills to connect with them, to build rapport. If I can get them to talk enough, have a conversation, and build rapport, I can connect with them, gain their trust, and present and solve their problem with the utmost confidence without giving up a major giant price. In fact, most of you guys overpay for your wholesale deals. How do I know this? Because I see them coming across my desk every day. Sadly is because you don't know how to negotiate. And what you think is you need to get that initial yes. That's how realtors operate. If you want to learn like a realtor, go find someone that has a real estate license. Me and Zach aren't going to teach you that. Now, I'm not going to get in the whole real estate license. It's completely disadvantaged as a wholesaler. Just check out other videos. Me and Zach will explain why to you. But back to the point is you don't know how to negotiate. Well, Rick, how do I do that? Focus on marketing. Find the right people, get in front of them. Off-market direct to seller that needs to sell, and then listen to them, talk with them, and get a conversation with them. Gain their trust, help them out, let them know you're an expert in learning everything about it. And remember, you have a team, you have title companies, you have lawyers, you have realtors, you have Zach, you have Rick, and do what we call the go for no. Now, a lot of people don't understand go for no only works when you do relationship wholesaling. And what do I mean by that? You have to get to know people and talk to them. Go for no forces you not to overpay for a property. And most people that present and make an offer on the property, you're trying to guess what the other seller is going to accept. You have no idea. Get it out of your head. If the property comes in at an ARV of $200,000, offer them $110,000, $115,000. Why? I want you to expect no, and then they come back and give you a counter offer. And now you can start what we call a negotiations. Now, some of them are too far off. They're not worth moving forward. But if they become small gaps, you just have to solve little problems, find a common medium, and move forward with there. Don't worry about splitting the difference because we go so low. Splitting the difference is a massive win. So splitting the difference really involves when you talk about retail sales, we are wholesalers. So using the go for no protects you from making overpriced offers and having you waste your time when you call your cash buyers to say you overpaid for the property. Would you rather have that uncomfortable conversation up front, or do you want to do it at the very end and find out you worked for free and you have to get out of the contract? I know which one I want. I know which one I want for you. And if you will follow this advice, I'm telling you, I can save 3 years off your life. I know how wholesaling works. Focus on marketing. Focus on the type of sellers you want. Off-market direct to seller that needs to sell. And then hang in there and get 5 deals. The first scalable event is adding a piece of software, something like XLeads. Go to xleads.com. Adding a VA, a very simple VA, $4 to $6 an hour to help you with your marketing activities, and then incorporating direct mail so you can add inbound marketing to your outbound marketing. And once you do that, just learn the lessons. Now I know what to do. I'm a relationship wholesaler, and I'm going to employ the go for no method so I don't overpay for my properties, because at the end of the day, wholesaling is not about sales. It's about helping people and solving the problems. And if you can do that over and over, you will always win in wholesaling. So guys, make sure you understand the emphasis on marketing, deriving your own list, and getting out there and meeting with as many motivated sellers as possible. And then take this blueprint so you can easily duplicate it so you can make millions in your wholesaling business. Guys, let me know in the comments, are you making millions? Put millions, because you got to have the mindset right. But like, I'm just a regular guy that just was so frustrated with the corporate world and tired of being average. Wholesaling found me. I found wholesaling and I've been in love with it ever since. 22 years. I love wholesaling. I don't understand why people even want to leave wholesaling. To me, it is the greatest avenue to create wealth, minimize your risk, and it is 100% legal. I don't care what anybody says. Guys, let me know in the comments. Are you going to use this blueprint to get started to make your first million in wholesaling? Let me know in the comments. And as usual, if you got value from this video, do me a favor, make sure you smash that like button, hit that subscribe button so other people can find the truth out about wholesaling. Guys, this is Rick Ginn. I'll see you in the next video.